How will South Africa's economy get back on its feet after the recent devastating unrest in Joburg and Durban and the slow crippling of this COVID-19 pandemic? President Cyril Ramaphosa's tipped a new economic support package. It comes with some much-needed tax breaks and the return of the 350 Rand social grant. Finance Minister Tito Mboweni will unveil the details of these at midday today. But to give us the forecast, economist Duma Gqubule is on the line with us now. Duma, what can we expect in these tax breaks specifically?
So what we're going to see in the announcement today is more details of what was announced by the president in his address to the nation on Sunday. So first of all, the main issue is that our economy has turned, the prospects for economic recovery have turned for the worse. So in the budget, they forecast GDP growth of 3.7%. But the government's austerity policies, the unprecedented cuts in spending, the power blackouts, the lockdowns, and the violence over the past 3 weeks has resulted in a decrease in the forecast for economic growth. Some I've seen around 2.3%. So that has an impact on the revenue side. Now, another thing that will impact on the revenue side is the 18 billion rands that the government has to pay for the public sector wage bill that wasn't budgeted for, and also 26 billion rands for the SRD grant. But the government at this point is swimming in excess cash from last year because they collected more tax than they expected from mostly commodity companies because of the commodity boom.
So, as you say, the government is quite cash-strapped. So, where will this money?
Flush.
They're cash flush?
No, I was saying, yeah, the government has got excess cash. They collected more than they expected. Yes, but if you saw in the budget, in the budget they had 292 billion rands in cash. So that is how they're going to pay for the grants. Yeah.
All right. So, in essence, what you're saying is that the question that many people have been asking, which is where does this money come from? They shouldn't worry?
Yes, the government has the resources to pay for this. It's 26.6 billion. And as I said, the cash that they had in March, excess cash, was about 292 billion rands in the budget. Yeah.
What does the future look like, Duma, with COVID-19, with the looting and rioting that we just saw? What does the future look like for South Africa's economy? And is this cash flush situation going to help?
Well, this future looks really bleak because the economy has turned for the worse. The world economy is expected to grow, I think, about 5.86%. Many countries will bounce back, but we are not going to. We're going to have a very slow recovery from this crisis. Because of these, what's happened over the last few weeks and months, our economic growth forecasts are very low for this year. I think we'll struggle to hit 2.5% or 2%, yeah. Between 2.5% and 2%, yeah.
And the reason I'm asking this, Duma, is then shouldn't we be saving for a rainy day?
No. What we should be doing, and many of us have been arguing that the government, what the economy needs right now is a big stimulus into the economy to get us growing faster than this 2 to 2.5% that we might see this year. So the only way to do that, as countries have done throughout the world, is to have these unprecedented stimulus packages. Global stimulus packages last year in the wake of the crisis were about 16 trillion rands, $16 trillion, about 17% of world GDP. So what I'm saying is that in South Africa, we need to end our government's cuts and austerity policies and have a massive fiscal stimulus for the economy. Our debt ratio is about 80% of GDP, and many countries that implemented these stimulus packages could not afford them as well. They had higher debt ratios than we have. I'm talking about countries like Brazil, India, even some of the advanced countries had much higher debt ratios, and they went and did whatever it took to get the economy towards recovery.
So I guess in essence what you're saying is you've got to spend money to make money.
Yes, we've got to invest because a recession by definition means there's not enough money in the economy. So when the government is committing to withdraw more money into the economy, it makes the recession worse. So what they should be doing is to find creative ways of injecting new money into the economy. Some of them might involve the budget, and some of them doesn't have to involve the budget. So there are many options that we can think of as a country to get this economy going again. Yeah.
That was economist Duma Gqubule. Duma, thank you so much for your time.